まあ、まだ押し足りないのですか？運転前にも散々押されたではありませんか。
練習と本番はまるきり別たい。
あ、
A smile halfway between friendly and forced crosses her face. You know, it's crazy that Nagi and Fukami don't get separate routes. They are together. They are dating Sotetsu together. But Makuta and in Hibiki, nah, they have to be separate. Man, if only Hibiki and Makuta dated Sotetsu together, we wouldn't have that scene in Makuta's route. Hachiroku is much smaller than Nagi, but she accepts her innocence just the same.
確かに、練習と本番はまるで別物ですね。同じように走ったつもりでも再現できませんでしたか。
Dexter, do what a mod is meant to do. If the smoke enters, they press the buzzer immediately. That will cause an emergency stop while maintaining the furnace as we go check the smoke. Or that was the original plan, at least.
せっかく録画までしたのにな。
We'd installed a small movie camera, but we borrowed from Paulette and set it up in front of the stove.
とにもかくにも精査しよう。流入問題を解決せねば観光列車は実現できん。
I wonder if Nagi Fukami's route also gets three chapters, right? We bought bread and soft drinks at the station store in order to save time on food. However, even with the extra time, we didn't end up achieving our intended goals.
難しいな。形のないものを追うというのは雲をつかむような話。とはよく言ったものだ。
Even so, we have to catch the smoke. So Valkyria, but I should make the town isolationist. Dexter, you can make one greeting isolationist. You do realize you can do multiple greetings, right? Until we find a way to prevent the smoke leakage, 8620 and the passenger car can't be used, causing us to lose a big weapon against the factory.
ともかく今日話し合ったことを整理しよう。
Same for the description. Yeah. The description should be the... I already talked about this, Dex, so you don't need to bring it up again. The memo pad in my pocket is gone. It must be in the crew bag. Oh.
やはりここか。
Confused at seeing something unfamiliar, I quickly remember I was holding onto Paulette's camera. Looking at the passenger car with no signs of leakage, it won't give us any information.
しかし、ヒントくらいは見つけられるかもしれん。
We think long and hard, but can't come up with a plan. Changing our perspective may not be a bad idea right about now.
これで見れればいいのだが。
Law is for world building. Yes! I insert the card into the slot of the PC and start playing back the video.
ああ、よかった。ちゃんと映っているな。
はい。これで録画してあるから、カメラいじらないでね。
They're using this CG again.
わかったまい。いじらんばい。
Unfortunately, I can't use it.
深見ちゃん、くれぐれもお願いね。
I've already used it as the thumbnail.
はい、わかりましたです。ならまた後で。
It'll be a bit before it runs. The setup's going to take a while. That said, we probably won't learn much from staring at a stationary passenger car. I check the scenery outside the window as I fast forward. Ah, there it goes. I freak out and let go of the mouse button, allowing the playback to resume at regular speed again.
ちゃん。
In the screen, Nagi pulls her shirt and ties the hem. Her belly completely exposed. I get curious and rewind a little. Nah!
こうやって引っ掛けて引っ張り合って勝負したとよ。本当にやったんだ。それでどっちが勝ったの？スパゲッティばい。じいちゃんはしょんぼりとうどんすすっとったばい。なぎちゃんのお家って面白いね。カメちゃん？なんでもないよ。なんでも。
It can't be nothing. Her forehead's drenched in sweat, and her face is red. Pull.
なぎちゃん。
Oh, it's back. I see. So that's why.
暑くてまともに来とれんまい。深見ちゃんもまくったらよかったよ。
Ain't no way. Mikami cautiously pulls out the chest of her shirt to waft in air. Nagi starts fanning her exposed belly. Fukami twists her body and laughs.
やだ。なぎちゃんってばくすぐったいよ。お腹は弱かと？なんならおでこばい。
This time, a soft wind blows, like a mother fanning her infant. Fukami closes her eyes and turns to the side comfortably.
はぁ、涼しい。川よりずーっと暑かけんね。無理したらいけんよ。
That's unexpected. Unagi can be considerate sometimes. Nagi had pulled up her shirt so that Fukami wouldn't have any reservations about cooling off. Nagi's gentle breeze calms Fukami's almost boiled expression. It's not a bad way to cool off. I really can learn from Nagi finding ways to better the ventilation. I write down my thoughts on a memo. While I do that, Nagi continues to fan Fukami in the video.
窓を開けんと？上演版たら言うのがまだでも、少しだったら開けて平気って86言うとったばい。
Well, there it goes. That's the most skin you're gonna see today.
でも、開けたら条件が変わっちゃうから。条件？
Fukami gives a small nod. Fukami shyly plays with her pigtails.
条件が変わっちゃったら、最初の時、どうやって煙が入ってきたかわからなくなっちゃうから。深見ちゃんよーく考えとるね。
I agree with Nagi from behind the screen. I hadn't expected her to think so hard about this experiment.
どぎゃんしてそこまで頑張ると？どぎゃんしてって。深見ちゃん？
As if being set on fire, Fukami turns red to her neck. Down to her neck.
まだ仰ぎ足りなかと？
Swing. Nagi swings her fan at full force, pushing up Fukami's bangs.
違うよ、なぎちゃん。考えすぎちゃって、熱くなったの。考えすぎって？
You're always thinking about so hard. What were you thinking so hard about?
だから、頑張る理由。つまり、うちのためとかもあるし。熊川下りの？そう。だって、相鉄さんたちが失敗したら、工場が来て、熊川の水汚されちゃうし。それに、うまくいって観光客さんが増えたら、熊川下りのお客さんも絶対に増えるはずだし。それはまあ、わからんでもなかけど。
Nagi suddenly stops fanning.
待って、それならもっと先に頑張るところあるばい。
Nagi declares, sending a confused Fukami's side wandering again.
深見ちゃんだって、わかっとるでしょ。
Nagi grabs Fukami's face with both hands to grab her attention.
船頭さんたちに帰ってきてもらうように頑張らんと。深見ちゃん、ちょっと無理しすぎやけん。別に無理なんて。しとるもん。学園の先生も心配しとるし、期末、深見ちゃんにしては成績悪かったでしょ。あれは、ちょっと、うっかりミスとか。やけん、疲れとるいうことでしょ。深見ちゃんがうっかりミスばしよるとか。
Ah. That's right. She does the Kuma River downstreaming. Helps with our, she does the Kuma River downstreaming helps with our work. Right. On top of that, she has her main job of studying as a student. She also has to do household chores. Fukami and Nagi are both young students. I forgot that simple fact and took advantage of their goodwill. What are you talking about? They're both 18. Wink. I feel embarrassed at my close-mindedness and lack of consideration. But I did eventually realize it. So what do I do? What do I do then? Repay that debt, of course.
86とポーレットとに相談しよ
Until we solve the smoke problem, 8620 can't be put into operation. On the flip side, that also means we can freely allocate that time.
う。そうだ。どうしてこんな単純なことに気がつかなかったのだ。
I should make a call or talk to Hachiroku. It doesn't matter which, really. I should talk about it as soon as possible and start moving as early as tomorrow.
今度は僕が、凪と深見を手助けするのだ。
Yeah, but he didn't have this he didn't think about it. He somehow never thought about this in any other route. You know, he was too focused on trying to bone the other characters. And this time, he's focused on impregnating two. I mean...
だから、迷惑でなければ、させてもらいたいのだ。
兄さん、どぎゃん風の吹き回しと
They don't understand at all. Nagi's remarks and expression make me realize I got ahead of myself.
僕は、というか僕らは、だな。深見と凪に甘えていたことに気がついたのだ。
After talking with Paulette and Hachiroku, we decided to move that test run up for 8620 to tonight. With the free time during the day, I can help them with the downstreaming.
つまりは謝礼だ。もらった善意と労力を、僕なりの善意と労力を持って返したいのだ。
本当に手伝ってもらえるなら、すごく助かるし嬉しいんですけど、でも...
Ukami's eyes wander, as if she's troubled. Nagi looks down and comes straight at me.
なんでいきなり甘えてたとかいう話になっと？
動画を見たのだ。煙問題について何か気づけるかと思い。そうしたら、二人の会話で。
You know, I wasn't really paying attention until I saw the midriff. I mean... Fukami covers her mouth with both hands, slowly turning red.
見たです。その、カメラ、
ああ、見たぞ。客車に据え付けておいたやつを。
There weren't any other cameras, but Fukami looks so worried that I feel compelled to add that statement. Actually, why she acted so weird about it.
なら兄さんにお腹見られたとね。
Yeah, she's insecure about her midriff, even though we didn't see Fukami's tummy. We only saw Nagi's. for some reason.
お腹？
Oh, that's right. Nagi lifted her shirt up while Fukami pulled hers down. But
お腹が見えると何かあるのか？
何かあるのは兄さんの方ばい。可愛かったと？ドキドキしたと？
nah.
ちゃん。
Not with that look. I think back after hearing her question. They were feeling hot, so they exposed their stomach, making them look.
可愛くあったな。暑さにバテる子犬のようで。が、ドキドキはしなかったな。
Yeah, not yet.
ドギャンして。
ドギャンもコギャンも、逆になぜドキドキするのか教えてくれんか。
Nagi puffs out one of her cheeks.
そんなん深見ちゃんが可愛いからに決まっとるばい。なぎちゃん。深見ちゃんみたく可愛いか子のお腹ば見えたらドキドキするのが当たり前たい。
Yeah, but we didn't get to see Fukami's tummy.
そういうものか。
そういうもんばい。
Nagi boldly exclaims, looking at me as if she's gloating.
そぎゃんかコツもわからんやったら兄さんまだまだ未熟ばい。
未熟。
Listen, Sotetsu has had a ton of experience with women. They just happened in different timelines.
もう、なぎちゃん。
Fukami shouts at an uncharacteristic volume, causing Nagi to jump.
なんで深見ちゃん。お話。ね、元に戻そう。そうですさんがお手伝いしてくれるかどうかに。そうだったばい。
She must be really sorry for digressing. Nagi is standing completely upright.
それじゃ、兄さんはあの動画で熊川下りが救急なのを知りよった。
ので、船頭さんを再雇用するまでの間、僕にできることがあれば手伝いたいと考えたのだ。
お手伝いとか、本当にいいんですか？っていうか、だって、時間を作っても体力とか。
おいおい、僕とて体力的には一人前の男性だぞ。
I roll out my right sleeve and flex. Nagi finds that funny and imitates me, but her arm isn't even half as thick as mine.
力になれるさ。二人にそうしてもらった分、僕にも力にならせてもらえれば光栄だ。
わかりました。そういうことなら。
Fukami stands up and goes behind the counter. She takes out a single vest.
救命胴衣か。
はい。まずは落ちるところから始めてみてください。
落ちるところとは。
I should already know downstreaming and a life vest. My brain's functioning enough for me to deduce from and to where I'd be falling.
そ
I'll
れ
be
で
falling.
大丈夫そうだって思ったら、お手伝い、ぜひぜひお願いしちゃいます。
わ！
Whoa! Already?
力抜いててくださいね。
I hear her direction right before I fall, and I quickly relax in response. The life vest immediately pulls me up to the surface of the river.
おー、浮いてきよったばい。
We're just getting full ass on the right side there, with extra feet. Listen, I don't even know if I could use this whole one as the CG. I think I could only get like, which one? This one, right? I think Focusing on Fukami is like the best. Is like the only way I can get away with using this CG. I gasp for breath as I finally see where I am. Did I capsize? Nagi, Fukami, and I are in the Kuma River.
そのまま浮いててくださいね。今、転覆直しちゃいますから。
うん。
She shakes the boat back and forth to flip it right side up. How amazing. She then shakes it again to get the water out. And now that's it. And now that it's floating once more, she gets on it and, oh.
なんと、船の床板というのは剥がせるのか。
Just crop it to show Nagi's face as well. Dexter, you do
力
realize
抜いててくださいね。
Nagi's face is right here. I don't need to crop shit. It's already there.
なんと、船の床板というのは剥がせるのか。
Bro did not pay attention to the CG until Nagi's ass was in it.
練習用の何にもつけてない船ですから、簡単に水をかき出せるようにしてあるんです。
なるほどな。
Then that means these things happen quite often during practice. Wait, no. Considering how we're dressed, I should have known without looking at the ship. It seems that they've calculated that capsizing and falling into the water is inevitable.
はい、これで船に戻って大丈夫ですよ。
I was looking down at the small thumbnail. Well, you should have been looking at the CG before Nagi's ass was on screen.
ああ。
I'm also reinstalling Amazing Grace to see if there is a sprite gallery. I hope, because I still haven't gotten it. I still haven't gotten a CG library.
兄さん、手貸すばい。
I have trouble getting back in the shaking ship. Unlike Nagi, who's already back inside, both Nagi and Fukami extend their hands out to me.
すまんな。
Well, it might unlock if you finish anything. The worst part about Amazing Grace not having a CG library is that I fucking get spoiled because guess where I have to find the thumbnails in a full ass CG library with everything unlocked. And you know what would have alleviated that? If the game had a CG library. After being helped on, my body feels strangely heavy. It's not because I'm drenched with water, though. No, this feeling is most definitely fatigue.
体力を使うものなのだな。川に落ちるということは。
よどみでもそれですから、急流だともっとどうしようもないですよ。
うん。だろうな。
Fukami brought the boat here for practice. It's still water where most of the current is stagnant. The CG, the background does, the background said otherwise. I can hear the splashing of the rapids behind a large rock.
ですから、落ちた時にはそのままで浮いてください。流されるままなら引っかかる場所はわかりますから。
わかった。心にしかと刻も
兄さんの場合は、あれの下探しゃ一発ばい。だね。
Nagi points at the silhouette of Navi in the sky. It's flying above, looking worried. How does it look worried? I'm used to that sight by now, but they seem to find it interesting.
う。すまんな。迷惑をかけた。訓練を再開してくれ。
This feels uncomfortable. It's sort of like parent-teacher day at school. I better move quickly to get those thoughts out of my head.
わかりました。じゃあ最初から教えた通りにやってみてくださいね。ナギ様がフォローするばい。大船に乗ったつもりでやってみるばい。
Fukami giggles to herself and heads to the front of the boat. Nagi stays behind and stands at the stern while holding the oar in both hands.
こっちは見てますから。気にしないで、どんどん漕いでみてください。
わかった。
切っちゃダメばい。練るようにして動かすばい。
切らずに練る。だな。
Rip. I lean down to use my weight to pull the oar. Splash. Right after that, the boat starts moving. It feels like the boat is splashing the water. This feels comfortable.
切らずに練る。
I was rowing hard in a cutting motion earlier, which is what capsized us. So I shouldn't do that, and instead knead. I keep that in mind while I put my weight onto the oar to push it forward this time.
わあわあ、いい感じばい。
And how come we didn't get any? You know what? I shouldn't ask that question, because if we got Sotetsu learning how to use the boat, I guess, knowing how to use the oar in Paulette's route, then this would be redundant. So I understand why they didn't do it.
ほんと、上手ですよ。そうですさん。
Blosh. I feel happy being complimented, but start losing my balance as a result. Suddenly, the resistance of the oar feels stronger.
おっ
両を離して、しゃがんじゃってください。
I do as I'm told and sit down without fighting it. Tap.
あ
Almost simultaneously, Nagi hits the pole on the base of the river. This is all that's needed to calm the boat down.
なんだ今のは。
深見ちゃんの水泡は魔法ばい。船ばトーンってつくだけで言うこと聞きよと。
Pole magic.
魔法か。まさしくそんな感じだな。
Yeah, I've got a magic pole of my own. If you know what I mean.
普通ですよ、普通。水泡はそういうものなんです。使い慣れるの、ちょっと時間かかりますけどね。
炉よりもずっと難しいのか。
って言われてます。炉は3日、貝は3月で、さおみとせ、とか。
なんだ炉は随分と扱いが簡単なものなのだな。
Yeah, why haven't you learnt it, Sotetsu? Are you an idiot? Meaning, I'm one of the clumsier ones then. I shouldn't get carried away and simply do as I was taught.
いい感じ。そういう風に力まないでいるともっといいです。
力まずに、だな。
また力入っちゃった。
ああ。
When I'm told to relax, I can't help but focus on that. When I focus on that, I tense up. I understand the logic behind it, but I can't deal with it. I don't know which part is tense and which part should be relaxed.
兄さん、流儀は剣術修行ばい。そぎゃんと考えたらうまいこと力抜けるばい。
おう。
Nagi must still remember when she was a beginner. Her advice makes a lot of sense to me. I see. I'm tense. Especially my feet. My toes are trying to help me stabilize by curling up to grip the bridge.
これでは安定するはずもない。
I relax and stop trying to plant my feet. I try to maintain a soft but sticky stance.
いいですよ。姿勢、すごく良くなったです。
I keep my upper torso relaxed. With my fixed stance, I only move my hips to use my lower body as a fulcrum to turn the oar. Pull. Whip. The feeling is smoother than the last time. The boat doesn't make any splashes, and promptly glides down the river. Pull, glide, pull, glide.
すごい。普通に上手。 兄さん、やっぱり心得あるばい。
助言のおかげだ。
Fukami told me to relax, and Nagi taught me to do so by thinking of sword training. Sword training? If either one of those bits of advice were missing from the equation, I probably wouldn't have gotten the hang of it. I need to hear both.
力でどうこうしようなどと思うのが間違いなのだな。川に対して僕一人が何をしようとも。
Yeah, you need to embrace the river. Become one with it. As I say that, I tense up again. The more I focus on it, the more tense I get, causing my balance to go off kilter, past the point of no return.
調子に乗って勢い乱すからばい。
The boat tips, my body slides off. Blue. When I relax, I quickly float to the surface. Relaxing is easy once I let go of the oar. And yet, even the smallest thing can easily cause me to tense up. I should dive down to cool my head off. As I'm doing that, something comes close to me.
で、どうですかそうですさん。
なあ。
I thought I capsized the boat, but Fukami managed to stay up and regain control of the ship. She used the pole to navigate her boat over next to Nagi and me.
どうとは何かだ。
お手伝い、大丈夫そうですか
大丈夫か。
Fukami looks worried, though I'm not sure why.
この程度なら何ほどでもない。大丈夫だ。もとより苦労は覚悟できたのだしな。
それなら。
Fukami lets go of the pole. She clasps her hands in front of her chest like she's in a prayer.
私、そうですさんに、川下り、お手伝いしてほしい、です。
ありがたい。これからよろしく頼む。
はい。
She jumps off the bow of the boat, and spins once before hitting the water.
おお。
Wow. Like a kingfisher hunting for fish. Fukami dives beautifully into the water. I don't think she should be diving into knee-deep water.
なんとも見事な。おっ
カッパフカミの攻撃ばい兄さん、ここは手を組むばいカッパじゃないもん
待て
I might need to censor the feet.
待ちませんよ
の
She swims behind me and dumps water over my head.
何よ
そうですさんは川の怖さを分かってません分かってないから動きが思い切り良すぎちゃう
Fukami's words feel strangely deep to me, like her name. I feel her voice echo off the bottom of the river. A sudden chill runs down my spine.
だから怖さが分かるまで少し川遊びに付き合ってください
いや、さすがに遊んでる暇などは。
兄さん、これも修行ばい
Is having your ass constantly on screen part of the training as well?
修行つまりは訓練か。
そうですね。私を捕まえたら合格ってことで。早く捕まえれば、時間の節約にもなりますよ。
So it is part of the training. In that case, it's inevitable. It's true that the way Fukami moves makes her one with the river. If I can manage to chase her and catch her, it should be easy to control the ship.
ならば。
Flash. I try to catch Fukami while she swims away, but I lose my balance.
くそ、この救命胴衣が。
脱いじゃダメ。条件同じにするために、私も来ますね。
ナギ、手伝え
待てって言われて待つようなバカおらんばい。もう。
だろうな。
でもですね、そういう風に甘く見ちゃうと、
I wasn't wearing it correctly, causing it to get in my way. For a brief moment, I realized that I've made a foolish choice.
抜けたぞ。
Fukami disappears into the water and I'm grabbed by the ankle and dragged to the bottom of the river.
これで救命胴衣の大切さがわかりましたか？
わかった。十分に。
なら、今度はちゃんと私にもつけさせてくださいね。
She just has fucking floaties on her arms. I nod. I get back Fukami's life vest and head to Nagi, while she's putting hers on.
救命胴衣は抵抗でもある。深みを船に近づけず、休ませず、持久戦へと持ち込もう。
了解ばい。いい作戦ばい。深見ちゃんは泥仕合とかすかんけんね。
What do you mean by that?
よし、捕まえた。
Nagi jumps up with both hands in the air to celebrate. She's all smiles. I think it's only natural we took so long to catch up, to catch Fukami.
これで上がれるばい。ヘトヘトばい。
だな。
Despite being in the river, I feel so tired that I can almost sense myself sweating. I suddenly get a strong urge to lie down on something cool.
そうですさん。
Fukami's still in my arms, and her neck is starting to turn red. I notice and quickly let go. It doesn't matter how young of a student she is, even though I'm touching her through her life vest. It's not proper to hug a young woman in a swimsuit.
残念。
Right when I was about to apologize, Fukami moves away from me and turns around. Perhaps she's mortified that she got caught. She looks very disappointed. It also seems like she's enjoying it. It also seems like she's enjoying it though. Yeah, she was enjoying getting fucking hugged.
じゃあ、上がりましょう。
Perhaps due to my adrenaline rush fading after catching Fukami, I suddenly feel extremely tired. But the moment I let my guard down, I'll be washed by the current. I see. This is how scary the river can be. I feel like I learned my lesson from Fukami's training as I return to the shore.
ほれ。
ありがとうばい。ただ酒は最高ばい。コーンポタージュスープじゃない。
That's That's a new background. Nagi and Fukami each hold the hot can of soup I gave them with both hands.
本当にごちそうになっても。
ごちそうというほどの金額でもない。迷惑でなければ飲んでくれ。
迷惑だなんて。いただきます。いただきまーす。うまかー。腹渡に染みたい。
本当だ。自覚していたよりもさらに冷えてしまっていたようだな。
Black tea is unsweetened, but it still feels good as it seeps through my body. It's warm, a comfortable kind of warmth.
まだソーテスさん、流れに逆らっちゃってるからですよ。それで体力、余分に使って冷えちゃったんです。
そうだったか。そのまま浮くよう心がけたつもりだったのだが。
そのまま浮くを、ソーテスさん、その場で浮くって 頑張ってますから。
ん
I don't understand the difference. Fukami just giggles as she continues on.
よどみの中にだって流れはあります。だから、そのまま浮いてれば流されるんですよ。
ああ、ならば僕は無意識にその場にとどまろうとして。
はい、流れに逆らって、だから疲れちゃったんですよ。
なるほどな。
流れに逆らったらいけんばい。疲れた挙句、やっぱり流されるだけになるけん。
I experienced that firsthand. Nagi's words have a sort of depth that's very convincing.
流れに乗るのが流れを制するただ一つの方法。流れと一つになってその勢いを生かすんですよ。
確かに。よどみの中にあってもこれほど消耗を強いる力だものな。
Thinking about that makes me even more tired at the same time.
おっと。
お腹減るばい？減った
Nagi picks up on my stomach growling.
お肉食べたかばい？河原でバーベキューしたかとばい？バーベキューの道具なんて持ってないよ。
いや、それはいいのではないか？
それって。
だから、河原でバーベキューだ。例えば、川下りの後のオプションとして。
That by itself isn't bad, but if we can tie it in with the tourism train, I sense some potential in it. For example, we can use the coal from 8620 to ignite the fire.
兄さん？そうですさん、どうかしましたか？
I grab Fukami's hand. I swing it up and down in a handshake.
そうだ、それだ、バーベキューだ。バーベキューと流れでいけるかもしれん。
What?
何がばい？
煙だ。煙の問題だ。流れが制御できんものなら、制御可能な流れを作り、ぶつければいい。
Ain't no way, my brother and This is the same solution. Isn't this like the third time we've come up with the same solution? I don't know if it's possible to do. So it'll need examining. But I get the feeling that this direction is the way to go.
二人のおかげだ。ありがとう。
I embrace them both and rub them on the tops of their heads. Nagi with my left hand and Fukami with my right. Their hair feels different, but their shampoo smells the same.
言うならば、そう、バーベキュー列車。
How do you
煙を制する列車だ。
How do you know what their shampoo smells like? Were you not in the water all day? Are you saying that are you saying they showered just before? I guess that's what he's saying. Maitetsu. This feels shorter. Right?
ご乗車ありがとうございました。
I have trouble even hearing my own voice. The storm outside erases the sound of 8620 on the blast, practically washing away the Ohito station platform.
ご乗車ありがとうございました。
I've never driven in bad weather under normal circumstances, let alone while running the barbecue train.
ご乗車ありがとうございました。
Shock overtakes the passengers' faces when they bear witness to the veil of rain. The smoke from the barbecue and the sound of everyone's cheers made them oblivious to the outside weather while on the train. There was a forest of a typhoon approaching, but I don't think the weather would get this bad. Didn't think the weather would get this bad. I worry about Hibiki since she's at school for a special art lecture. At worst, she said she'd just stay over at the boarding house at school. It'd probably be safer like that in this weather. In that case, Hibiki would be okay. I switch mindsets and focus on the ticketing.
ご乗車ありがとうございました。
What's that? A family's child is waving goodbye at me while smiling. It's not my nature, but I can't ignore that.
ありがとうございます。どうぞ、お気をつけてお帰りください。
ありがとうばーい。
Nagi shouts in my ear. I turn around to see her head sticking out of the cab while waving wildly. I see. The child was waving at Nagi. That's awkward. Hibiki and Reina are popular among animals. What? But for some reason, Nagi is extremely popular among small children. Because she is also a small child, even though she's meant to be 18. And despite being led away by the parents, the child turns back every few steps, looking back and waving again and again. It's their first time meeting, too. Amazing how well liked she is. I leave Nagi to handle herself as I put my hands back and resume ticketing.
ありがとうございました。と。
終わりばい
Nagi descends from the cab and peeks into the passenger car while asking. I follow her gaze and confirm her words.
全員ご下車くださった。
Even the family is gone from the platform now. Usually, they would line up to take photos, but not today. I wonder why. With weather this bad, I'm sure everyone wants to head to safety as quickly as possible.
ねえ、どぎゃんして兄さんが切符受け取っとったと
86は足回りの点検にすっ飛んでいった。
それは見とったばい。手ブレーキかかったらすぐ大きい方の体に取り替えとったし。
ポーレットもホームの安全確認を終えてすぐ僕に検察を頼んでレールショップに戻ってしまった。
Nagi looks surprised at my response.
レールショップで何かあっと
補強だそうだ。レールショップはガラスを多用しているからな。
ああ、ガムテでも貼っつけっとかね。
まあ、その類の作業だろうとは思うが。
Something feels off. It's similar to how I felt earlier after hearing Nagi's words.
力仕事なら僕がやろうかと申し出たのだが、検察の方を任せたいと言ってしまったのだ。
はあ、そりゃそうばい。
A triumphant look from Nagi.
なぜそりゃそうなのだ？僕が作業、ポーレットが検察の方が適材適所。
兄さん、女心分かっとらんね。レールショップはポーレットさんの家も同然ばい。
I mean, yeah, considering that in two routes, she retires from being mayor to run the rail shop.
だな。
I have no choice but to nod. It's true that I don't understand women. The rail shop is indeed like Paulette's house.
家の
Home.
掃除ば手伝われるのは恥ずかしかとよ。見られたくなかようなもんもいろいろあるけん。
Like stuff.
ああ、そんなものかもしれんな。
Hibiki doesn't like showing me her room either. I figured that out a long time ago, so I purposefully don't visit her there.
ナギほどサバサバした性格でも、そんな風なら、ああ、いや、というか、大丈夫か？
大丈夫って何がばい？
美濃笠鍛冶店さんだ。あそこも随分と年季の入った建物だろう。
大丈夫ばい。じいちゃんだけじゃなく、今は父ちゃんも帰ってきとるけん。
She looks happy, speaking of which, I've never heard about Nagi's parents.
ナギのお父様は、
I didn't even know she had parents.
システムエンジニアたい。今年中は今治に単身赴任でお仕事ばい。
おお、家事とは関係のないお仕事なのか。
やろか父ちゃんやけん。日作り土もきっと持ち上げられんとよ。
Yeah, but do you remember what the town is called in Amazing Grace? The town in Amazing Grace doesn't have a name. you've got the Aurora, which is just the ice wall, and then you've got the city that they are in Hokkaido, which is Ashoro. But that's the thing, though. It's not technically Ashoro, right?
そうなのか。
Also, imagine how embarrassing it is that your granddad is a blacksmith and you are too weak to be a blacksmith, even though you're like 40 years younger. How old is Minokasa, though? He'd probably be like 60, 70, around there. She made it sound like an insult, but Nagi looks delighted when talking about her father. A sense of envy hits me.
年季ば言うたら兄さんとこの酒蔵の方がよっぽど古かとばい。
右田の蔵も全く心配ない。手入れを欠かさぬし、人手も足りて。
My eyes meet with Nagi's.
だよな。深見は大丈夫だろうか。
I mean, yeah, Fukami would be hit the most, considering she lives right next to the river.
電話してみればい。
Hardest, I mean. Nagi pushes some buttons on her cell phone and puts it to her ear. 5, 10, 15 seconds pass.
ああ、おばちゃん、なぎばい。深見ちゃんはおっと
宗哲様。
Feeling the tug at my sleeve, I turn around to find Hachiroku completely drenched.
大丈夫か。というかすまん。傘の一つも差し掛けてやればよかったか。
いえ、お気持ちだけで十分です。雨がっぱさえ役に立たないこの風雨ですので。
なあ、言われればだな。
The wind grows stronger, practically blowing the trees next to the track sideways. I'm sure an umbrella would be blown inside out too.
それより、
Hachiroku turns to Nagi. She tilts her head to the side in a questioning manner.
深見にだ。この風、川下り線の方は大丈夫かと。
Maybe I should mention it as the town. The best way you could refer to the town in Amazing Grace as would be the Aurora, right? Or the town inside the Aurora.
わかった。ほんならまた後で。
Honestly speaking, it's probably better to not include spoilers in the description, alright? Nagi's phone call ends. After hanging up, she walks a bit closer.
深見ちゃん困っとるみたいばい。兄さんも手助けに向かうばい。迎えると
I turn my head and Hachiroku answers immediately.
私の方は大丈夫です。この子にも幸いにして異常はございませんでしたので。
そうか。ならば後のことを。
はい、お任せください。
であれば、すまんがよろしく頼む。ということだ。僕はいつでも。
Before I can finish my thought, Nagi pulls me by the hand.
なら行くばい。
I was planning on saying it was an isolationist town.
すみません。車も出せずに。
That's probably good then. You know. Also, are they in fucking storm shelter? Or something? Fukami bows apologetically, like Hachiroku said. A raincoat really is useless in this weather. Even Navi's evacuated. Nagi and I are drenched just from moving about.
何を言う。車がないのは、関さんたちが今日も補選をしてくれたからじゃないか。
The car's already working for us. Fukami's grandfather and his brothers do maintenance so that 8620 and Kiha 7 can run every day.
この天気の中でよく、むしろお礼を伝えたいのだが、関さんたちはまだ。
はい。そのまま向かって、今、湯の井の発洗所で、 船を上げてます。なら、こっちの船はこの3人で避難させなきゃまずかとね。
Fukami finishes relaxing, finally relaxes a little after hearing Nagi's words. So I was thinking of having Yuza be an outsider like in the VN, or should make that part of the greeting instead. Just like in Uta's chatbot, the user is basically replacing the main character.
そうなの。一人じゃどうしようもないから、来てくれてほんと助かったの。ありがとう。
Like, the visual novel Amazing Grace already has Shu as a self-insert, so the chatbot just makes him more of a self-insert by not even giving him a unique name.
何を今さら、水草かよ、神ちゃん。
そうだ。僕らは仲間ではないか。
はい、ですけど、やっぱり、ありがとうございます。
She bows again deeply. It makes us feel a bit distant, so that irritates me a little.
いや、まあ、ともかく動き出そう。
The entire dock is now wet. The river water is rising and starting to seep into the room.
これ以上天候が崩れんうちに急いで。
ダメです。段取りをしてからじゃないと、濁流の音で会話もできなくなっちゃいますから。
ああ。
Fukami's words make me realize I was getting impatient. We had enough trouble talking at the platform under a roof. So if I want to do something with the user being from the town, then it would be best to do that as an alternate greeting. Yes. If we went straight to working on the dock, it's true that we'd be confused without a plan.
了解した。ならば、手順を説明してくれ。
はい。おじいちゃんたちがいないから、重機は使えません。だから、船は人力で引き上げます。人力でって、そぎゃんことできっと？
That sounds very dangerous.
コロを用意してあるから。
Fukami points behind her to numerous logs stacked on each other.
コロって何ね？損機きれがコロ？
そうだ。学園で習わなかったか。ピラミッドの石を運ぶのにも使われたものだと。
Fukami nods while Nagi shakes her head. They're classmates, but if she doesn't know, then there's no helping it.
運びたいものの下側にコロを入れ、動かす。後ろのコロが出てきたら、また前に差し込む。
Nagi's eyes glitter with recognition when I draw her a diagram.
なるほど！これなら簡単に運べそうだね！面白そうばい！やってみたかと！大丈夫。嫌になるくらいやれるから。具体的には6層分。
階段脇のスロープを使ってあげるのだよな。しかし、階段まではどうやって？
川の水位が上がってますから、階段の下の方はもう水の中です。
Normally the space of the dock is wide enough for an entire boat. The approach to the stairs has a slope, so that means the water level has gone up 2 meters.
そこまで切迫してるのか。
ですから、私が船に乗って誘導します。そしたら、ナギちゃんがコロを挟んで、ソーテスさんが引く。
She must have prepared it beforehand. It's an organized plan, but...
それだと、船に乗るまでは、川の中を歩くことにならんか。
友綱を伝えますから、行けます。命綱ももちろんつけますし。
危険だ。深みの負担が大きすぎる。
If the water's up the stairs, that means there's enough footing to step on. If someone needs to ride a boat, Fukami's the only one who can handle it. I could just move the boat by hand under those conditions, though.
友綱で船を引っ張り足場まで運び、そうして僕が下から押し上げてやる方が。
そりゃ無理ばい。
Instant rejection from both Fukami and Nagi.
なぜ無理なのだ？
100% バランスを崩すからです。
Would Aurora in Town be a good name? No.
流れに足場すくわればい。
いや、ナギや深見の体重ならば簡単に流されてしまおうが。
体重とかの問題じゃないです。運動神経の問題でもなか、もっと水量の少なか時でも簡単にコロンコロン流されてしまいよるけん。
まさか、ナギがか。
Nagi surely has more athleticism and a better sense of balance than I do. The situation of Nagi being pushed by the current is extremely difficult to imagine.
そうばい。だけじゃなくて、深見ちゃんも深見ちゃんのじいちゃんたちもばい。
専門家でもか。
水量が極端に減った時には、航路を確保するために川の中に入っていって、岩を溶ける作業をするんです。
No matter how deep or dexterous the veteran boatmen are, some would still trip and fall. I'm then calmly told how dangerous and difficult it is to exert strength in the river.
だから、川の中で作業するとき、体力とか運動神経とかは安全を保証してくれません。
After declaring that, Fukami takes out a sturdy-looking rope.
命綱がついた状態で逆らわず流されて助けを待てる。それができない人に川の中での力仕事は無理です。
了解した。
If I slip and get washed away by the river, I will definitely panic. If Fukami and Nagi are on land, they won't be able to pull me up by my lifeline.
では、深見が川でコロへと船を誘導する。ナギがコロを移動させ、僕がゆっくり引き上げていく。
はい、それでお願いします。あと、簡単な手信号を。
I'm taught some hand signals, and then I put on the chest waders, a life vest, and some rainwear.
よし。いつでも大丈夫だ。
なら、行きましょう。
Fukami's voice seems more confident than usual. The sense of reservedness she usually has is gone.
1にも2にも安全に、危ないと思ったら自分の体を最優先にしてください。
Yes. The violent storm is intense. So intense that it feels like I'm being lifted off my feet. The rain comes in sideways, stinging my skin. I close my eyes by reflex and slowly open them to find the Kuma River. The water is being thrown around by the storm as it rises by the minute. The stakes holding the stern lines and the concrete dock is almost underwater. Whoosh. Nagi holds the small logs used for the roller while being pushed by the storm's gust. I quickly help her up after being knocked over and shout close to her ear.
這うようにして運んでいこう。
Raindrops filled my mouth in the short time it took me to say 7 words.
これでは地上でも転びかねない。
わかったばい。
Nagi bends down while I stand over her to block the rain and wind the best I can. Being close together lessens the force on me too. It could be that the ground itself is blocking the wind.
この辺でよかったわ。
だな。あまり水面に近づけすぎるとコロまで飲まれてしまいかね。
We place some stones on the first step of the stairs to create a simple dam and place the rollers behind it.
全部でいくつ？ 持ってくと
The more rollers we have, the easier it is for me to bring up the boats. Of course, it also makes Nagi's job harder, causing her to fatigue. It's a catch-22. We should limit it to the bare minimum.
6個。いや、5個でいい。4つで使って、1つが予備だ。
We get pushed by the wind on the way back. I get a sudden urge to laugh at how easily I'm being blown around. I carry the rollers out to the steps again. It's the second time and I'm still not used to the painful rain.
これでよかった
With the rollers ready, Nagi turns on the flashlight to draw a large ring. Standing next to the water, Fukami sees that and starts carefully going into the river. Is her lifeline? Okay, it is. It's tied from Fukami's hips to the railings on the stairs, but that side is far from reassuring. The wind violently blows, causing Fukami to wobble in her footsteps.
ひどく変わったい
ああ、
The muddy stream sometimes has foreign objects floating in it. If Fukami goes past the stern line to the boat's wavering like a leaf. Her usual speed is gone, instead replaced by caution. Fukami positions herself next to the boat.
なっただい
よし。
Fukami places one hand on an oar and uses her other to give us a signal.
やるぞ、ナギ。
わかっとるだい
We put another rope on the stern line of the boat Fukami's on. We then affix it to the railing on the stairs. And we slowly reel it in with all the strength in our bodies.
こりゃきつかばい
無理をするなよ。足を滑らせないようにしろ。
Even with the concrete steps, the storm's enough to make me lose my balance. I realized that my suggestion of going into the current and pushing up the boat was a mere fantasy.
深見ちゃんさすがばい
なあ。
She's more stable in her stance on the boat than on land. The boat is reeled in through the roaring rapids with every exertion of strength.
うまいぞ。そうだ。その調子。
Fukami's positioning the all-well in the rapids, even as it heavily bends.
ナギ、コロについてくれ。深見が来る。
了解ばい
Knock. The bow of the boat hits the concrete steps. Fukami jumps off the boat and ducks under it with Nagi.
お願いします
Fukami, I'm not hearing any urgency in your voice. I feel a sudden weight on my hands. Facing backwards makes it hard to pull, but I'm on the stairs. Since I'm on the stairs, I have the rope over my shoulders with the boat and river to my back as I slowly move forward. Pull. I didn't see that. Suddenly, the resistance lessens. The boat's on the roller. This is easy. This is easy. If you ask me, this ancient technique is quite something. I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I can even check back while doing this. I wrap the rope around my waist, then 180 degrees. To turn 180 degrees and pull the boat while checking on Nagi and Fukami. Pull, pull, pull. One step at a time. I pull it carefully up the steps. Nagi and Fukami move the rollers one by one as the boats climb up the slope.
よし。
We get past the slope and finally stabilize the boat on flat land. That's one. There are 5 more.
そうでした次行けますか
無論だ。ナギは
ナ
I'm sure we're all acting off pure adrenaline at this point. The fatigue I felt before is mostly gone. We have to get this done no matter what. Everyone here understands that.
なら、行きます。
All three of us.
気をつけろよ。
The storm isn't letting up. I expected the work to get easier with more experience, but I get more tired with each boat pulled up. Yeah. No shit. What's this? My glove's starting to slip. Gloves are starting to slip. It must have taken too much strain and stretched out. They're fitting loosely, and I can't get a grip. Inside the gloves are filled with sweat and rainwater, giving off a steamy feeling. One wrong move and they'll slip right off. But there's only one boat left. Once Fukami brings the boat closer, I'll pull at the stern line and that'll be it. And your gloves will slip off, and that's when the tension starts to rise. I rile myself up by dumping out the water in the gloves and fixing the fingers. Okay, I think it's better now. I look up and realize something. I haven't heard anyone say anything for a while. Everyone's silent while performing their driftwood. Fukami pushes the boat around away from the black object, but the movement causes her to lose her balance.
いかん
I jump at the lifeline immediately. I use my entire body to cover it and pull. Did I lose my strength? Or did I pass out? A fully extended lifeline unleashes a force much more intense than the weight of the boat. Well, yeah, because you're fucking... you're fighting against the current. I sense a burning smell. The force is dragging me toward the river. Life and death do battle within my hands. My body shakes remembering that day. Michiko. I was small and weak back then. I couldn't hold both Michiko's in my life at the same time.
大丈夫だ。
Pull. I secure my grip by wrapping the lifeline around my own body before reeling it in. Quickly, but steadily, I'm careful with my force to make sure I don't slip.
大丈夫だ。大丈夫。
I need to get Fukami out of the water, but if I go too fast, I might get thrown into the water myself. I say that over and over again in my head, so that I won't let go of the weight in my hands, no matter what.
大丈夫だ。今度は絶対。
Fukami's weight is the weight of her life. I will not let go. What a transition.